Hello. Those of you who I asked to move, thank you for moving. Now I want you to look at your tables, and if someone has left dirty dishes on your table, would you please bus your own tables? We forgot to bring our mamas to clean up after us. But if you would clean your table, and those of you who are in the back, there's a presenters who will be right here. And it's really helpful if you're closer to the center of the room and if you're up front. It just makes it easier for presenters. So please reposition yourselves in a spot where you can listen to these presenters towards the middle, towards the front. And thank you for cleaning the tables.
Maybe move this to the floor, and then we'll just take the mic with us. Yeah. Because then, like, we both have things that we're holding here. So let's move the water off the bottom. You got it. Okay.
So let me. I'll give you a minute, and I'm gonna introduce you guys. And
wait. Oh, are we starting right now?
No. I'm saying it to make sure that. Oh. I'm gonna take my.
Okay. Let me go down there and I'll get it. I'll grab it. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'll take that.
So when we start, I'll grab this.
another quick announcement. This is Zelia and Joey. They're the presenters for this next session. If you think, hey, this is a killer presentation, I want a copy of it, if you put your name and email, they'll email you their presentation. So that's what these sheets are. You don't have to put your name right now because once they start presenting, you're going to go, give me my pen. I want to write it right now. Okay? We're going to get started in just 3 minutes. So let me explain to you what's going on. We had so many of you come, which is awesome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for skipping school. Whatever. Why you came, we're glad you came. So on those papers that were handed out, that's where you can put your name and email address, and Zelia and Joey will email you their presentation. But what will happen is after this workshop, we'll have lunch, and then after lunch, instead of staying in this room, you get to go upstairs to the other room because our numbers will kind of go smaller, so we can move you up into that room and you can move, and it'll be a little bit easier to sit and to have conversations. And that's where you get to meet Kyle Reyes, Michelle's husband that spoke this morning. Okay, let's, I don't know if I'm authorized to start, but I'm going to go ahead and start. Okay? You guys have sat and waited long enough. Hey, is there anybody who can get students in here? If we can hold them on in. There. That's much better, isn't it? Did you guys know I was bilingual? Well, maybe trilingual. I do soft English, and my kids know loud English. So did you hear the rest of the afternoon? We'll do lunch. We'll stay here. We'll do lunch, and then you get to go upstairs. And it's just up the stairs to your left, and then you're going to turn left at the next corridor. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start introducing these speakers that are here today. They're my coworkers. They're some of the coolest people you will ever meet. Let me tell you a little bit about them. This is Zelia. She's a Gear Up counselor in Nebo School District. She's worked for Gear Up for about 10 years. In fact, 10 years exactly, because I just got a special award for her, but don't tell her. Okay? She's been a college advisor. One of the coolest things she's done has been a toy librarian. So ask her what that's about. She is originally from LA, and that's why she is street smart. She will help you out. She got her bachelor's and master's in anthropology from California State University. She's worked in higher ed for over 15 years. She loves working for Gear Up, but one of the coolest things that she does in her free time, she enjoys reading, gardening, traveling, and she likes to learn about new places. She is so smart. She has developed a new methodology of utilizing laser pointers to perfect her cat's dance routines. Can you imagine laser? Anyway, laser to perfect cat dance routines. Let it sink in. Joey is another amazing person. She's worked in higher ed for many, many years. She grew up in Northern California. This is something I didn't know about Joey, that her family harvests walnuts. I got to learn how to do that. I have a walnut tree, and then they maintain the trees in the orchard. She is a first-gen college student, and her family completed her bachelor's degree in Hawaii and then her master's degree in Utah. She has been working with students to achieve college goals since 2003. And it's one of her really great things that she's able to do is help students get ready for college. So let's go ahead and get them started. So if you go ahead, let's clap for them. Let's make it sound like, yeah.
Hey, thanks everybody. I'm Joey, this is Zelia. I worked for Gear Up for 7 years and I love Gear Up. I think it is the best thing you can do to get ready for college. I've worked in college access and enrollment since 2003. How many of you were alive in 2003? Yeah, so I've been doing this a long time, your whole lifetime. So hopefully that lends me some credibility as we go through this. So today, Zelia and I are going to talk to you about self-advocacy tools to use in high school and college. So what we're going to cover today is self-advocacy, tips on how to interact and communicate with your school counselor and then your college advisors, who helps in high school versus who helps in college, and then types of college advisors and what they help with. So before we get going with this, I just want to remind you we have some sheets going around. If you see that, put your email and your name on it and we'll send you the presentation and notes.
Translation. Si alguien necesita traducción en español, Erendira, por favor, ¿puedes levantar Erendira? Ok. ¡Woohoo! Erendira. Ok, ella está traduciendo. Si necesitas ayuda, ahí está. Si pueden sentar allá con ella. Ok. All right.
Okay, so as we get going, I know most of you have smartphones. Me and Zelia are using these for notes. You guys use these for notes. If you have the Notes app, you can actually take pictures of the slides and then make notes, and it's all connected for you. You can do that here, you can do that in class. When you go to college, that's how most of your classmates are going to be taking notes. It's all done on that tiny little computer you have in your hand. So feel free to take notes, take pictures of the slides, and then write your notes on there. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to start with self-advocacy. And I'm just going to read this to you so everybody is on the same page. Self-advocacy skills include a person understanding themselves, their rights, and their needs, and communicating that understanding, leading to self-determination. So what's self-determination? Self-determination means making your own choices, learning to effectively solve problems, and taking control and responsibility for one's life. And practicing self-determination also means one experiences the consequences of choices. So what you're doing right now in life is, learning about how to advocate for yourself. When you're little, your parents go to parent-teacher conferences and advocate for you. In high school, you may have noticed that your teachers stop making your parents come talk to them, and that's because you're in charge of your education for the most part in high school. So what we want to do today is make sure that you understand that and you are better equipped to go out and meet with your teachers and counselors at school and ask for the things you need and get what you need back from them. Okay, so I'm going to pass off to Z.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Do you want me to do the slides for you?
Yeah, that'd be great. I keep getting airdrop requests. I'm not sure if people are sending me pictures of their cats. I would happily accept them, but yeah. Actually, somebody sent me a picture of a rooster pouring coffee. I'm not sure. I don't know who that is. Hold on, let me find the slides. Hold on, let me see here. I had the slides up.
Oh.
I think, and now it's gone. Let's see.
Oh, right there.
There we go.
Okay. All right, it's that rooster picture.
See? Don't send requests to the cat phone. Okay, that's the name of my phone. All right. So how to advocate for yourself. I'm not sure what happened. So what do you need? So I'm going to talk a little bit about high schools, okay, since you're all in high school. And so you all should know who your high school counselors are. How many of you actually know who your high school counselor is? Let me see hands. All right, keep them up, keep them up. How many have actually met with their high school counselor? Everyone. Oh, that's pretty good. Mostly everyone. All right, perfect. All right. Who you should reach out to, what are you asking them for, knowing what information, collaboration, permissions, approval. What do you need to receive back from them? And this is really important. And so we're going to show you an example of an email. And so I was actually meeting with a high school counselor, and she was telling me a lot of times they get emails and texts from students, and a lot of times the message is in the whole subject box. Do you all know how to contact your high school counselor? Yes, perfect. Okay. How many of you actually go into the office to meet your high school counselor? Let me see those hands. How many of you text your counselors? Never. Okay. How about email? Email, okay. Do you use social media to contact your school counselors? No. Okay. All right. Just checking. Just checking. Yeah. So, how many of you have actually been to your high school counseling website? How many? All right. So, you probably should be going to your high school counseling website. There's information there. There's a picture of your high school counselor. It has their email. It has, probably an area where you can make an appointment. You can also go into the school counseling website. But it's always good to go to your high school counseling website to get information. When should you meet with your counselor? How do you schedule a meeting? So again, different schools do different things. You can make an appointment directly. You can go into the high school counseling office to do that. And what questions should you be asking in junior high and high school, right? Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. All right. Do we have swag? I don't know if we could just give out prizes. How many of you are junior high school kids, students? Sorry. Junior high? One back there, two? Okay. All right. And most of you are high school. Victoria, I'm sorry, I can't accept your request to share a photo. All right. So things that you should be asking is if you're on track to graduate, do you have enough credits? Are the classes that you are taking, how are those classes counting towards graduation? You don't want to get to your senior year in high school and you're barely meeting with your high school counselor to look at your credits that you have. You want to take graduation requirements in your sophomore, junior year, and in your senior year, you can take more concurrent enrollment classes, which Joey's going to talk about, okay? How many of you are taking concurrent enrollment just by chance? Very good, very good. Yay. Okay. So what should you include in an email to your counselor? What's the first thing? Somebody said it. Your name, yes, your name. If you have your student ID number, you can include that because, there could be a lot of Mary Smiths at your school. What else should you be including in any kind of email or communication to your high school counselor? Last name, very good. What else? Okay, yes. Very good. What is the purpose of the email? You need to advocate for yourself, right? Ask what is the purpose of the email, okay? Whether you want to request an in-person meeting, whether you have a question about your class, maybe you want to switch your schedule, okay? Basically, put down the question that you want. Okay. You want to go to the next one where it says, oh, there you go. And there you go. And this doesn't change from high school to college. So Joey and I can attest, being college advisors, we have received interesting emails in the past. So they will address us as, hey, you, or just, hey. You usually want to say Ms. Lopez or Zelia Lopez. Hello, okay? Hello. Instead of hey, say hello or hi. All right. What else? Okay. All right.
So yeah, like Zelia said, it's really important to email the right way. I was an academic advisor here at UVU in 2009, and I got a phone call. So I guess this is phone etiquette that I'm going to talk about, but I got a phone call, and the student said, hey, this is Brandon, my classes got dropped. That was it. No phone number to call him back at, no UVID, no last name. So Brandon didn't get helped because I looked at my list and I had 11 Brandons, and I didn't have time to go through and contact each Brandon and say, what can I do to help you? My baby brother is a history teacher at Springville High. Springville is one of our Gear Up schools, so if you're, Zelia does Springville, so yay, Springville. But he gets emails all the time from students, and the subject line is help, and it just says, I have a D as the whole message from the student. So what is that student asking for? They didn't ask for anything. The subject says help, and obviously they need help, but do they need help learning how to email people, or do they need help with the class? Or what part of the class do they need help with? They didn't even tell them what class they're in. So it's really important to be specific as you're reaching out and contacting people. Start doing that now when you're in high school, because that will extend through college as well. Hang on, my phone locked. Okay, so when you're asking questions, we have a list of some examples. Like when you're emailing your counselor, you can say, how many credits and in what subjects do I need to graduate? Will you please send me some course recommendations for those? Because they can reply and they can say, you need this many credits in these areas. Do you know what classes fulfill those? No. But if you don't ask them and your counselor works with 600 kids, they might not automatically just add that. So make sure you're covering all your bases. Will you help me research part-time job options that relate to careers I am interested in? A lot of times there are part-time jobs that you guys can do right now that relate to things that you want to do later. Even if you want to be an architect, your high school counselor can help you research different areas that you can work in high school, so you can get some work experience and really decide if that's something you like and want to pursue. What classes should I be taking now to get ready for college? If you're going to go to a tech school, that's a different type of college than a traditional college where they have liberal arts and sciences. So you'll want to talk to your counselors and your teachers about what career pathways you're headed for and what type of college is going to be the best for you. And once you know that, you're going to talk to them about what classes you should be taking to be ready for those college experiences. And then what should I be doing outside of classes to get ready for college? Gear Up is an excellent thing to put on all of your resumes and brag lists as you apply for scholarships and apply to colleges. This shows that you've been serious about getting ready and preparing for college for a long time. But in addition to that, are you active in clubs? Do you work part-time? What are you doing? Even if you're at home taking care of younger siblings or elderly grandparents or relatives who need someone as a caretaker, that's an activity that you're definitely going to get credit for as you apply to colleges. You just need to know how to word it on those applications. So be talking to your high school counselors and your Gear Up staffers about that so that you can really, I guess, get a big impact out of all the things you're doing. Oh yeah, and make sure you're following social media. Your schools have lots of social media accounts. I am an academic standards counselor here at UVU right now, and I learned last week that UVU alone has 769 social media accounts across campus. So your high school probably has like 10 or 11. So, follow them. It doesn't take much as you're just scrolling through to check out what's going on at school. When you get to college, follow the ones that are applicable to you and helpful. And if they're not, just cut that out so you reduce all that extra noise in your life. Okay, so Zelia talked about concurrent enrollment, and some of you are doing concurrent enrollment. Concurrent enrollment it's one of the greatest opportunities available to you as high school students. If you are in concurrent enrollment, you are essentially getting high school credit for the class you're in, and at the same time, you're earning college credit. And you guys aren't paying for that, your school district is. If you took one class here at UVU, your tuition would be about $700 just for one class. But if you take that same class at your high school, you pay $5 per credit, and then like a $15 per course fee. So you're paying $30 at high school, and when you go to college, you're going to pay $700. So talk to your high school counselors about doing concurrent enrollment. Yeah, and UVU is the local concurrent enrollment provider for a lot of the high schools around here. If you are taking concurrent enrollment through UVU, when it's time for you to graduate high school and go to college, you don't have to reapply to college. You're just automatically upgraded to be a degree-seeking student at UVU. So you're already admitted to college, and you can just enroll and keep going. If you're doing concurrent enrollment through SNO or Weber or SLIC or Utah Tech or SUU or Utah State, check with the concurrent enrollment advisor at your high school and see if they have the same program, because it's really convenient to just not have to reapply for college. You will want to make sure you're applying for scholarships your senior year as you transition from high school to college, but you don't have to reapply for admission if you're concurrent enrollment, at least at UVU, and then going on to UVU. Okay. So the next thing we wanted to talk about was the Certificate of Completion for General Education. This is a little bit tricky because it's stuff you guys haven't encountered yet. But when you go to college, there are actual state laws that govern the requirements you have to fulfill to earn a college degree. For an associate degree in the state of Utah, you have to complete at least 60 credits. And for a bachelor degree, you have to complete at least 120 credits. Those credits are broken out into different subject areas, and every single degree, no matter if it's associate or bachelor's, will require that you complete general education. So every college at Utah can decide what their own general education classes are. They're very similar across the board, but there's going to be a 2 to 3 course difference between every school. So if you're doing concurrent enrollment at Weber and you decide that you want to attend college at Utah State once you graduate high school, it's really important for you to concentrate on Weber's concurrent enrollment general education offerings, because if you can complete those in high school, you can apply to Weber for a certificate of completion for general education, and then that is something you earn from them, it's awarded to you, and you can send your transcript to Utah State, and Utah State will see that you've finished general ed at Weber, and they won't make you take their general ed. And you don't have to take any additional or different courses. It's just all considered completed there. So definitely look into that. It's just 11 or 12 classes, depending on what school you're going to. So you can work it into your schedule throughout sophomore, junior, senior years and get that all done.
I was going to talk about letters of recommendation.
Okay.
I can talk about that.
Okay. All right, so we're going to jump into the differences between high school and college. In high school, it's pretty cut and dried. You have teachers, student advocates, class aides, school secretaries, school counselors, Hope Squad, and then athletic coaches and principals. Those are basically everyone who works at the school, well, and the custodial staff, of course. But they're all people that you see pretty much every day because you're at school and walking around, and school is a very isolated area. Like, you're all in the same building. You're all together all day long, all week long. Once you go to college, there's a lot of specialization that gets split out. So we have, at college, you'll have admissions counselors that you work with as you're applying to school. You have orientation leaders who are going to help you tour the school and get ready to register for college. Then you have academic advisors, you have financial aid advisors, accessibility counselors. If you have an IEP or a 504 in high school, you'll want to talk to the college accessibility counselors because you can still have accommodations while you're in college, very similar to what you're experiencing in high school. We have academic coaches. I'm an academic coach. I do academic success coaching. If you get to college and you are struggling, see if there's academic coaches, because they're people like me who just want to help you figure out what you need to change so you can succeed in college. And a lot of it you already know, you just need somebody to ask you the right questions. We have peer mentors in college, we have multicultural counselors, mental health therapists. Colleges have medical centers where you can go see a doctor or a nurse and have a medical appointment. Here at UVU it costs $10. So if you're sick, you don't have to go find your family doctor. You don't have to drive home 4 hours if you're at college. You just go to the doctor on campus, pay them $10, and they can still prescribe you medication and help you out. We have wellness program coordinators, and then of course there are faculty. And Zelia wants to talk a little bit about faculty.
So when you're in college, I know a lot of times it could be a little intimidating to go and talk to a faculty member. So faculty being your instructor, your professor. So a lot of times, at the beginning of the semester, the faculty person will give you their syllabus, will have their office hours. Please use those office hours. You can go in, introduce yourself, tell them maybe like what you're understanding about the class and probably not what you're not understanding. And the reason why I bring this up is because faculty members can do so much. So you have all these people who can probably tell you what classes to take, all that stuff, but faculty members and teachers in your high school, if you go and talk to them and just say, I'm thinking about maybe a career in this field, what do you think? They can probably give you some information. But the best part is, for some of those who are a little bit shy, you go to the college website. You go to the different department website pages. You look up the faculty. A lot of times it'll say their resume, it'll say CV. You click on it, you can see where the faculty member, the professor studied, what colleges they went to. You can also see what books they have published, what publications. And so if you are interested in juvenile detentions in, northeastern whatever states, if you're interested in that, you can go and talk to that faculty member, or you can email them and request a meeting with them and see if they will spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes and talk to you about their experiences. What I always like to ask faculty, if they can go back to when they were freshmen in college, when they started their college plans, what would they do differently? Because trust me, Joey, a lot of us here who have been to college, if you ask us, what are some of the mistakes you made? What would you do differently? We probably would sit you down and tell you, like, this is what I would do differently. It will save you so much time. For me, it was probably not applying to as many scholarships as I wish I had. Another thing that counselors, counselors, faculty, teachers, all these individuals, you're going to need a letter of recommendation, whether it be for a scholarship, for college admissions, for a job, okay? So if I'm going to hire someone, I would like to see a letter of recommendation from a teacher or professor who knows your work, who knows your work ethic. You come to class on time. You turn in your assignments on time. Because if I'm going to hire you, I want to know if you meet deadlines, if you follow through on assignments. Okay, so this is very important. So it's not just going to class, it's not just doing your homework, it's not just turning in assignments, it's getting to know the teacher, getting to know the professor. When you're in college getting your bachelor's degree and you want to apply for your master's or a graduate program, you want to find those faculty members that know you and can do a letter of recommendation for you for either graduate school or for a job, okay? And actually, it's those faculty members that will find out if there are jobs that will keep you in mind. And they'll say, I know this student. This student is great. They come to my office hours. I know their work. And they'll a lot of times send you the information, say like, hey, Mary, there's this great job here on campus. I want to recommend it for you. Okay.
Thanks. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to get to the home stretch here. Okay, so Zelia and I have both been academic advisors at colleges. Academic advisors at college are kind of similar to what school counselors are, in that school counselors at high school know all the requirements you need to do to graduate high school. So at college, your academic advisor is going to be the person who tells you what classes you have to take to earn your college degree. There are specific classes you have to take. Some of the classes have a specific order. For one of the majors I used to work for, they had a sequence that required you to take 3 classes in order, and you had to do 1 before you could do 2, before you could do 3. And you had to pass each one before you could move on. So it's really important to know that, just so you don't end up at a place where you have 2 semesters left, but 3 classes in sequence that you have to take, because then you're going to end up taking a final semester for just that 1 class, and that's not always fun. Okay, so academic advisors, they know what classes you need to take. They usually work with students in 1 or 2 specific majors, so they're very much subject matter experts for those major areas. At colleges, you have to meet with your academic advisor at least once. You have to do that so you can register for college when you first start going there. But after that, there's no requirement really for you to go in and meet with them. But that does not mean you should not meet with them. I always tell my students I work with that they should meet with their academic advisor at least once per semester, just to have a quick check-in, make sure all the classes you're taking are the right ones, find out if faculty have some research projects that you can help out on. You can find out if they have any job opportunities that they've learned about. Because, your high school counselors work with like 600 kids. A lot of times your college counselor is working with like 800 or 1,000 kids. So they definitely won't have time to do that individualized outreach. And that's where you need to advocate for yourself and go in and say, I want this information. And they'll say, oh, great, I'm glad you're here because I know all of that. And they'll give it to you right then. Okay, so financial aid is a big concern for a lot of kids going to college, and it can be kind of scary. But every college that you apply to, they have financial aid advisors who specifically only work with how to pay for college. So if you have questions about scholarships or Pell Grants, or if you have to do loans to pay for college, these are going to be the people that you go talk to. If you get a Pell Grant, there's a good chance that you might have to do a family income verification. And so this would be the office you go to do that. And for the most part, all these resources and all the people who work at colleges, they just provide you services because you're a student either enrolled at college or interested in going to that college. There are very few things across campuses that require you to pay extra money. Like I mentioned, like if you go see a doctor, it's going to be $10. But beyond like paying for student health services, pretty much all the other resources, like using the library, going to the tutoring labs and getting help from the tutors, that's all free, and it's part of your tuition and student fees that you're already paying for college. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to go on to the next slide. So specialty advisors are available across all the college campuses. I think just across from this ballroom is UVU's Service and Learning Center. And in there, they have opportunities for you to volunteer and help people. But they also have a food bank for students who are struggling with food insecurity. And that's a service they provide. So you can find that across a lot of different campuses. They're part of the specialty offices that you'll find. My office, we're academic standards. We do academic success coaching. I teach kids how to take notes in college classes. I teach you how to read a college textbook. If you have any questions about why you're not doing as well in your class as you think you should, you can come to my office. I'm going to share with you a little story about myself. I graduated from my high school class as ranked number 8, and I thought I was awesome. I was like, college is going to be easy. High school was super easy. My first semester of college, my grades were so low that I was on academic probation. So I was like at risk of being dismissed from the university. And so going and using college services like the tutoring offices, like the academic learning strategies coaches, that really helped me understand how to be a college student and how to succeed in college. So if you get to college and you struggle and you didn't think you were going to, it's not just you. It's a lot of kids. I work with hundreds of kids every semester. So definitely reach out and get help where you need it, whether it's getting help with academic success or if it's connecting with people in the multicultural office. There's a lot of different programs and activities that can be offered to you that can be really helpful in helping you feel like there's a place for you at the university and that you belong there. And that's going to help with your overall academic success and help you stay at school long enough to complete your degree. Oh yeah, and for those of you who are Gear Up students, I'm sure you've been told about Gear Up first year college services. So Gear Up is going to help you that first year of college. But beyond that, most college campuses in Utah also have a TRIO office. And they do things really similar to what Gear Up does, and they offer that to all the students at college beyond that first year. So definitely look for that TRIO office and sign up for help there. All right, so this is the last thing we're going to talk about, and that's making connections. So Zilia went over a lot of what you do to make connections at high school and get help there. College is really similar. Everybody who works at your college works there because they want to help college students. If you're an engineering major or a business major or a nursing major, the people teaching your classes are experts in those fields, and they could be making a lot more money not teaching at college. So they are teaching at college because they want to be part of the group of people who teach the next generation and really just concentrate on making sure that that knowledge and those skills are passed on and keep being developed. So if you are struggling and need help, reach out to your teachers. They want to help you. They have office hours. You'll get a syllabus that says, my office hours are these. Drop by their office hours, introduce yourself. Tell them what you want to do in that class. Tell them what you want to do for a career. They'll have different things that they'll talk to you about. Some of them might want to offer you mentoring opportunities and develop a relationship with you, just so you can have more advanced learning and better opportunities to get hands-on skill training. Oh yeah, and if you're meeting with your advisors, make appointments. Because like I said, most college advisors meet with like 600 to 1,000 students. So if you just drop in on a random Tuesday, they might be able to meet with you, and if they are, that's great, but they're probably booked with the other students, or they might have meetings they're going to. Or because of a lot of colleges offer employees the opportunity to work from home a few days a week, they might be off campus working from home that day. So make an appointment. It will really reduce the amount of stress you're feeling as you're trying to reach out and get help. Anything else?
Okay. So, can everybody hear me in the back? Everybody hear me in the back? You hear me in the back over there? Yeah? Okay, perfect. So Joey mentioned that she was, what, number 8 in her class? All right. I was the complete opposite. I barely graduated high school. Barely. I think they just como me dieron una empujada, you know, to get me out. They found some credits I took in Mexico, you know, some PE class, I don't know. And this is what I want to say. You're in high school. You're going to come across people who will be naysayers. Maybe they're not going to give you that extra help. Or maybe they're going to tell you like, well, maybe college is not for you. I want you to know that you can go to college. Now, what I hear from high school students is saying, I'm not smart enough to go to high school. I don't know what I want to study, okay? Don't worry about it. What you do is you work hard. Maybe you're getting an F right now in one of your classes, okay? Maybe you're getting a D. What you should be doing is going to math lab, getting that tutoring, being proactive, reaching out to your teachers and asking for help. Because let me tell you, maybe for that one person who's not helping you in your schools, there's 10 other people that want to help you. You need to reach out to those individuals and stick to them and accept their help, okay? Like I said, I really didn't think when I was in high school I was going to go to college. I actually had a high school counselor who told me I wasn't college material, and I wasn't really planning on going to college. But luckily, I had family members who kind of pushed me and had me apply to college, and it was a long road. But like Joey, when I got to college, I didn't know how to study. I didn't know how to take notes. I didn't know all these things. And so the thing is, we're in 2022. I went to college well before any of you were even born. And so they did not even have as many resources. Take advantage of the tutoring, the resources, the people who are going to help you. You just have to reach out and ask for help. Please ask for help. Your Gear Up counselors, your outreach mentors, the staff, I can honestly say everyone who works for Gear Up, we worry about you. We are wanting to make sure you have all the information, the tools, and the resources to make informative decisions when you're selecting colleges and scholarships. We want to make sure that you're selecting the right career path, okay? But know that, you know what? Mistakes happen, right? So you got that F last semester. So you know what? You just move on. You do credit recovery. You make up your classes. You just move forward. You can't go back and change the past. You just keep moving forward. You work hard. And that's what I'm trying to say is that you're not going to be able to get through high school, get through college by waiting for people to come to you. You have to go out there and ask for help. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad all of you guys came today. Okay? We love you guys, and you guys are really worth our time. So we ended a little early. We want to open it up to all of you. What kind of questions do you have for us? Yes.
Okay, all right. I'll go. Okay.
For an internship, do you need an letter of recommendation?
For internships, do you need a letter of recommendation? So if you're in high school and you're looking for an internship, you want to go to your CTE coordinator, okay? I'm going to tell you all are on TikTok. I know you're all on Instagram. You have all that information in your hands. You're saying no, but I know you do. There's so much information in your hands, okay? For internships, yes, you probably do need a letter recommendation if you're going to be working somewhere, right?
For college internships, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Who else? Anyone? Anyone have any questions? No? Yes. Do you want me to come back to you? Or you want to yell it? Here, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Yeah.
Could I go to BYU if I don't have the credit for it?
What do you mean the credit?
Like the GPA certificate?
Okay. All right. So let me answer your question generally. So a lot of you, how many of you are actual seniors? Let me see those senior hands. All right, graduating class of 2023. Woohoo! Yay! All right. So I know all of you have your list, right? I got to do these scholarships. I got to do these admissions applications, right? So I'll answer your question generally. So a lot of times you're looking at all these college websites. You're looking at the ACT score, right? You're looking at the GPA requirements. If you're a tad below those requirements, and Joey may, I don't know if you want to chime in, I would say apply. If the application is free, apply. Okay? You all have Utah College Application Week coming up this next month. How many have College Application Week the first week in October? How many? First week in October? It's going to be somewhere in October. Please reach out to your Gear Up counselor. We have codes that will waive those application fees. So if you're wanting to apply, let's say to BYU, right now that application is open. You should be doing your BYU application. Okay, Snow College is open. A lot of college applications are open, okay? You all should be doing scholarships. Anything else? Red headscarf, okay. Who? She has a question? Did you have a question?
Yes. What are internships? Who are they available for? Like, is it juniors and seniors? Who are they available for?
So for internships in high school, again, I would reach out to your CTE coordinator. If you go to your high school counseling website, it has a picture in the email of all your high school counselors, but it'll also say CTE coordinator. For college, there's also internships. Once upon a time, I was an academic advisor for the School of Criminal Justice and Criminalistics, okay? So think of bodies, crime scene. Anyway, that's probably as much as I can say. And there was a lot of internships. And so I would help students do their internship application for U.S. Marshals, CIA. They have a lot of internships with the U.S. government. Okay. Did I answer your question? Did I answer your question? Okay, awesome. Anybody else? Yeah.
What's the best way to find scholarships for junior?
For junior? Okay. Perfect question. His question is, how can I find scholarships for juniors? So many different ways. You can go to your high school website. You can go to other high school websites. You can go to CompleteScholarships.org. CompleteScholarships.org. You can go to FastWeb.com. You can go to KTS Utah, right? They just did that presentation this morning. Okay, you download the app, right? make an account, you can find scholarships there. Also, you can email, we just talked about it, you can email your high school counselor and say, could you please send me some scholarships for juniors, okay? All of you juniors should be start studying for the ACT, okay? You're all gonna take it, right? February, March, all right? Okay. Any other questions? We really do care about you. I can speak for myself. Joey is the same way, right? We have spent many hours. Sometimes we go to these conferences and we just talk about you all. We really want to help you. We want to make sure we're giving you all the information that you need. We need you to answer your emails. When your Gear Up counselor, advisor, outreach mentor sends you an email or a text, just answer. Just say like, I'm good, I need help, okay? How many of you get text messages from Gear Up? How many? There you go. So you have our number. You can text us and say, can you please send me some scholarships for juniors? To your Gear Up person, okay? Anything else I'm missing? Any other questions? We still early? We're good? All right. I'm going to send it back over to Mr. Ruben Rocha, who is our statewide director. Again, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you having you here today.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Zelia and Joey. I appreciate that. And we're going to now let you have a seat if you want. Thank you, thank you. I'm extremely surprised that you have survived since, 9 o'clock to now? This is amazing. So now we're going to get to an awesome moment. We're going to have, in about 5 minutes, we're going to start with lunch. So finally, and then I'll tell you what's going to happen during lunchtime. So we have, UVU has allowed us to have some guided tours, campus tours during lunchtime, right? So the lunchtime is going to go from 11:45 to, I think it's 1:15. Let me look. Give me a second. Let me double check.
Can you ask them to hold up those sheets with their emails and names so I can go collect them?
Give me a second. Yeah, 1:15. Give me a second. Zilly has something to say. I'm going to have her do it because she knows.
All right. Before we started, I gave out some little sheets to put your name and your email if you wanted us to send you this PowerPoint. Could all of you look at your tables and hold up those sheets so we can go by and pick them up? All right. So I'm going to ask some of the Gear Up staff if they can help pick up these for me, please, for us. And we will send it to you. You'll have our email, and then we can follow up with any information or questions that you may have. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Zelia. So this is how it's going to go. So we have lunch, right? We're going to have lunch in about 5-10 minutes, and then the guided tour to Utah Valley University is going to be happening by the registration area. That's going to run every 30 minutes during lunchtime. So if you want to attend one of those, make sure you go there, and then they're going to start at the same time as lunchtime. So if you say, I want to get lunch now, and I'll go to the next session, you can eat and then wait 30 minutes, they'll come back and a new one will start. Or you can go, in about 5 to 10 minutes, take the first group, get the first group and go, and then you come back and get lunch. So I'll let you decide how you want to do that, but make sure you know that those are about 30 minutes. It is a short version of the tour of the university, and then you can do that during lunchtime. Okay, so again, lunchtime is from 11:45 to 1:15, and then we're going to be eating here, and then after that we're going to go to different sessions. But I want to make sure you know. All right. And if you have any questions, find us or come over and I'll answer any questions, okay?